is it too early to start talking about campaigns, or rather, with the way the world has been spiraling, is it too late to start talking about campaigns? Right. Because who even knows if elections will ever happen again in the history of man, woman, and person kind? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm just a guy on YouTube. You are just you. At least, I hope you are, right? And Chris LeBrane, well, he's just a dude who likes making music. Not this title music, but the music I'll be talking about in this video. Never. Look, it is near impossible to be creative and creating things all of the goddamn time. Eventually that tank runs dry, and when it does, it's important to pump the brakes, slow down, and worry less about creating your art and more about refilling that creative fuel tank. My name is Crumbine, and this is Emergency Creative, a place to explore the intersection of creative expression, creative process, and mental health. Today, I am adding creative inspiration to that matrix. And if you would like to see more videos about refilling that metaphorical creative fuel tank, well, you know the routine. Like and subscribe. So there is a chapter in the last book I wrote where the main character finds himself kind of trapped in a car with a new friend named Gloria, and she offers to put some music on to help ease his anxiety. Gloria, she asks the very obvious question people ask in that kind of situation. What kind of music do you like? The main character, Gordon, replies, I don't really like music. Now, it's kind of a lie. He does like music, but it is easier for him to say that he doesn't. Easier that is than it is to explain his very particular tastes. The book is called Gordon Wegner Wants an Ice Cream, and it was actually the second time I wrote a scenario like that. The first time was many years ago when I was producing a collaborative series for my old YouTube channel. The episode, all seriousness, the episode was called Nazi Cubicle Zombies and the First Amendment. The character in that video is reluctant to go to a new bar in town because, just watch the clip.
What time?
What do you mean, what time? It's gonna be late.
I don't know.
Do you think it's gonna be like music, like loud music?
It's a bar, of course there's gonna be music.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Oh, jeez, not this again.
What?
This whole music thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't really like music anymore.
All of a sudden, just hates music.
What, like country?
Pretty much all of it.
All music?
I really can't stand it.
This is just so ridiculous.
How can you not like music?
I don't know.
Look, there is a reason I've written these characters with a distaste for music. As weird, unusual, and peculiar as it sounds, not unlike the main character in Gordon Wegner Wants an Ice Cream, I, too, have particular tastes in music, which is why this video is so damn special. Because the album I want to share with you transcends my finicky musical palette in a fashion that I can really only describe as, fucking brilliant. There you go, Chris. That's your whole quote. You are welcome. For now, let's go back to the Nazi cubicle zombies and that collaborative video I produced so many years ago. Because aside from being this example of my personal trope about a character not liking music, that video also starred Chris LeBrane, the same Chris LeBrane of Chris LeBrane's Campaign, the album, the musical album this video is about. See how that all comes full circle there? Yeah. And the Nazi cubicle zombie video also featured music by Chris LeBrane over the end credits. Now, to be fair, Chris LeBrane made music for nearly all the episodes of that legacy old collaborative YouTube series, among many other videos I produced over the years. But the point is,
Drop it.
It's a zombie revolution and it's right on time. It's time to clock down, so stand in line. It's time to live the raging dead, build the line to rise.
Oh God!
Now zombies, make yourself heard.
Oh God! Bless me. Yeah.
it is fitting that I just turned 40 because I have known Chris LeBrane for nearly 20 damn years. And if turning 40 didn't already make me feel old, wow, that last sentence really did. Yeah. So, suffice it to say, we have done so much creative shit together. Chris has always been a ride or die, ready to jump into one of my videos, and not only have I produced videos for multiple episodes of his local radio show.
Yes indeed, and that was Centaur by Electric Dawn. That was quite amazing, guys, you know? You guys are changing the game in more ways than I can actually admit.
I also produced this visualizer thing way back in 2019. And yes, that was a teaser slash promo clip for an album that did not release for well over another 5 years. This is the creative life. Because I have known Chris LeBrane for so long, I can say that I have been a fan of his music since the days of one of his earliest bands, The Aristocracy. Again, 20 fucking years ago. They made a mark in the Orlando music scene, and yes, I do have video proof of this fandom. And also, yes, it does involve puppets.
You know, it's only a commercial for a car dealer, but I'd say our friend's moving up in the world. He's not my friend.
You said you went to school together.
Yeah, he's not my friend. Well, either way. Yeah. Either way. Beanie Boy? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Larry Kindman is directing commercials. Yes. I'm producing and freely distributing an internet show that I subsequently make no money off of whatsoever. Are you going to be okay? I really don't think so.
Many days and many nights I drift away when I'm alone. Yeah. So I puff it out, turn on the music, and disconnect the phone. Yeah. If you need me, gotta reach me. I'm not here most of the time.
Look, if this has felt like a weird, meandering love fest for an old friend, that's because it is. But also, it's important to establish the legacy of Chris's old band, my personal gateway to his musical sound, in order to get to what I believe is a core, fundamental point about his new album. I've known this guy for nearly 20 years. I became a fan of his sound with The Aristocracy. The amount of music he has produced for our creative collaborations can only be described as endless. But I haven't necessarily been a good friend or even a good fan of all his work. Because as a working musician in Central Florida, Chris LeBrane has done, good Lord, he has done so much. And a lot of that music, while I will not judge it as good or bad, the truth is it simply wasn't for me. Remember what I said about particular musical tastes? Yeah, very, very fucking particular. For example, most of my favorite music doesn't even have lyrics. I have a hard time processing and understanding words in songs unless they are super fucking crystal clear, and I have a lyric sheet to follow along with. My brain can't decode and process that cacophony of noise. So when Chris LeBrane releases Chris LeBrane's Campaign, a solo album produced alongside his longtime musical collaborator, Pete, it was easy to support the release, see the promo video I produced 5 years ago, 5+ fucking years ago. But I had no idea upon listening to this album, or upon the upon receiving the album, I had no idea if I was going to be able to enjoy it. Which brings us back to that core fundamental point about this particular piece of art. The sound of Chris LeBrane's campaign is so authentically Chris LeBrane. It is a sound that traces all the way back through the years, decades, weaving through a spaghettified mess of collaborative videos and lovingly languishing in the distinct musical DNA of the aristocracy. To my very particular ears, the Chris LeBrane's campaign album isn't Chris LeBrane trying to be anyone else. Something I think any creative person can deeply resonate with. The imitation or finding that original voice and copying what other styles and what other people do. Instead, Chris LeBrane's campaign is, well, it is the most Chris LeBrane that Chris LeBrane has ever Chris LeBraned. And that isn't just, good. It isn't just an expertly crafted musical funkscape. Brother, come on. I got you covered with these pull quotes. What it is, simply put, is nothing short of pure, authentic, creative, artistic expression. And I could not be more fucking proud of you, dude. Chris LeBrane's campaign is on Bandcamp and probably other streaming platforms, services, whatever. I don't actually know. I'm terrible with that shit, particular ears and all that jazz. Hit the Bandcamp link in the description. Go directly to the source. This guy has spent a literal lifetime working up to this particular album, and it is a fucking inspiration to creative brains everywhere. Whether you are a musician or not, and whether you even like music or not. May we all find our purest, most authentic, creative voices, just like Chris LeBrane did. That is all for this one. Like and subscribe if you like liking and subscribing. I'm totally fucking serious. Hit that Bandcamp link in the description. And until next time, stay creative, friends.